expectations, just like every other young person, growing up. Unfortunately, most young people have the wrong expectations because, of course, we are chasing different dreams, So primarily, I had three basic expectations in the spouse, in my spouse, or my expected, spouse or spouse to be. And top on the list was the fear of God for me, because all my life prior to that time, I discovered that what actually set me apart from my other siblings and every other person around me was the God factor. I came from a background that a lot of things were wrong. Of course, not with my parents, because my dad married only my mom, of course. So I wanted an improvement on whatever they had. Yes. So, and thankfully, God located me early, because I was not preached to. I cannot explain how, but I know when I actually gave my life to Christ, but God located me early. So my top priority was the fear of God. I wanted a woman who knows God experientially, who has a functional and working relationship with God. Not someone who claims to know God, but someone who actually knows God. And you see, these things, you can't hide them. So people always say, people can hide, can pretend. No. If you have the Spirit of God in you, you will definitely know. The Bible says you have the unction of the Holy One. You know all things, all things. And there's a spirit in man. The inspiration of the Almighty gives him understanding. So there's no how you will not know if you have the Spirit of God working in you. So I wanted a woman who actually knew God. That was it for me. So this day we were in the choir rehearsal, and then that was my very first encounter with my wife. Now my wife, then she was a sister. Truly before that time I can't remember having any memory of her. But there was her standing in front of the whole choir, quite a large number of people, and she was to give the word church. Jesus, man, she was just dropping fire. I was caught off guard, man. Something happened to me there that I cannot remember exactly what she said, but I was just touched that such a young girl like this knows so much to say, and she was saying it with a lot of confidence and authority. I loved it. So I just did a note, encouraging her that wherever this fire, whatever you did to attain this level of fire, please maintain it. It will take you far.
I think I kept that.
Yeah, she kept that note until after we got married. I didn't know the impact of that thing I did until when she brought up the note after her wedding. I was amazed. What? Jesus. I wish I could still find it. Maybe we'll just frame it. So.
Right.
Yeah, right. So that was it. That was it for me. I saw that fire. I saw that genuine love for God. I saw the passion. I saw the drive. And then the second thing I was looking for was someone who is smart, intelligent, and confident. And my wife is a combination of all of those things and more. She's beautiful, smart, and intelligent. You need to see her back then in school. When you see her smart appearance, I love your corporate outfit. And the way you walk so briskly and confidently on those shoes, those heels, not so high, but wedge, comfortable wedge, and then you look so good and confident and smart. So I needed someone that I can hold an intellectual conversation, someone who can challenge me to be more, someone that we can, challenge each other to be more, literally. I just wanted that kind of person, and I found it in her. And then finally, I needed someone that was humane, someone that was selfless. Back in school, some girls can even sell their bodies because of BlackBerry. That was what was raining there. So to bring up a dime to even buy something for wear, there was no such thing as that. So the guys will always do, when you have, you take the girls out. It has always been the culture, and nobody, reciprocates. Anytime you have, you take the girls out. And here I was, the very first time I took my wife out on a date when we became friends. And a few days later, she came and then asked me out on a date. And she said it was on her. What? That was actually my first time that a woman was taking me out and to pay the bills. I knew it from the beginning. She said it's on me. I'm not kidding. Wow. In fact, even if she had not paid, that statement alone had already won my heart. So when I saw this, I said, wow, this is the kind of woman. I am not a lazy person. I'm not selfish, but I knew that for her to have that kind of, mentality, it means whatever I give to her will be safe, and then she'll be able to, make sacrifice for the sake of our children and for the sake of our marriage. So all of these were my three things on my top priority list. And of course, she met them. The moment I saw them, I didn't pray. I did not pray. There was no need for prayer. See, look. And the Bible says, watch and pray. So it means when you watch first and you're not convinced, then you can pray. Me, my watching gave me enough conviction. There was a knowing on the inside. She was like, have you prayed? I said, I don't need to pray. I just knew that she was my wife. I was so convinced. Yeah. And of course, today I have no regret.
Almost 10 years.
Yes, almost 10 years, no regret. It's been a wonderful ride. It's been a wonderful ride.
For me, it was a couple of things. But first on that list was the fear of God, because I just knew that I wanted to live for God, and if I am getting married to someone, it should be someone who has the same desires as myself, someone who we can hold hands and pray together, someone who can, we can join our faith regarding issues, right? And then someone who genuinely loves God and fears God. So I always used to tell myself that, just like Paul the Apostle said, that the love of Christ constrains me. Yeah, so someone who genuinely loves God would be constrained. So the things that ordinarily the people of the world, or the people who do not genuinely love God, would do, it will be hard for someone who genuinely loves God to do it. Someone who genuinely loves God will treat you well. Someone who genuinely loves God will love you because you are an extension of God that they see, because you are in the image and the likeness of God. So loving you is like loving God. It was top on my priority list because I know that I will not get slapped with someone who loves God. Like, the love of God would constrain you, no matter how upset you are. And there have been times when, looking back, there have been times when my husband was really upset with maybe something that I did or something that happened, and I just would see the reaction. I'm like, wow, because he would not raise his voice, let alone slap me. Never. He would just find a way to just calm down and retreat, and then wait for me to come back to my senses, and then we'll have a conversation like adults. So that's what I was looking forward to, because I knew that without the love of God, anybody can be anything, right? There's nothing really constraining that person. There's nothing stopping them from slapping you. There's nothing stopping them from going out to cheat, to drink, to keep late nights, and then come back home to, be a nightmare or a disaster to you. So I truly had the fear of God and the love of God as number one on my priority list. Then number two, I also was looking forward to marrying someone that I can submit to. And I'm so grateful to God for this understanding, and that I had it while I was about 20. I had that before we started cutting. So there are some people that came around me then. I would look at this person, I'm like, there was someone that was particularly so good, so nice to me. And in fact, to my friends, to my sister, it felt like, Helen, you're being wicked for turning this guy down in this manner. Like, I would say no. I would turn down his gifts. If he said even airtime, I would tell him, this airtime you sent is a waste because I am not recharging it, so you better recharge it. It was that drastic, because I knew that if I collect gifts from him, that was like giving him approval and green light. So even if I had not said yes, he would feel like there was hope. So I just wanted him to know that there is no hope here. Why? Simply because I looked at him and I'm like, this person is too soft. I am a bit stubborn. I'm a bit strong-willed. So I knew that it would be easy for me to, my natural self, to take advantage of that person, to be the domineering one in the relationship. It would be difficult to submit to him. It would be easy to just question his authority, because he's just someone that would just say, okay, you can, and I didn't want that. Of course, I didn't want someone who would be rigid with me, but I wanted someone who would also check my excesses, make me think, well, there's someone.
Not through coercion.
Yes, not through coercion, but bringing our strong reasons. Yeah, so I needed someone I could submit to, because I knew that as a wife, that is your primary assignment in the marriage. It said, wives, submit to your own husbands. So I just was looking for someone I can submit to. The third thing for me was, I actually wanted someone who was fair and tall. I had that fantasy in my head that I would marry someone who is fair and tall, because I am dark skinned and also not tall. So so I just wanted someone who would complement. I like light skinned kids. I love light skinned kids. So I just wanted to have light skinned children. So
and all your children turned out.
Yeah, they turned out to be light skinned. All three of them. It was not a major for me. It was not a major at all, but it was one of my fantasies. And then lastly, I wanted someone who was romantic. Yeah, so I don't.
Oh, man.
Please stop hyping yourself. So I really, he is actually. I wanted someone who was romantic. I was not that type that read a lot of mails and booms, but I am a deeply emotional person, and I wanted someone who would be able to meet me on that emotional level, all of those touch points and all. I cry easily, feel things very deeply and all. So I just really needed someone who will pamper me and pamper me and treat me nice. Someone who would just be there, be the shoulder that I can lean on, someone who would hold my hands, until today, 10 years after, we hold hands while we walk, and sometimes you hear comments behind us like, this one's just got married.
Or they're about to get
married. I think we went to a studio one day, and they were asking us if we came for our pre-wedding shoot. Like, we've always been those lovebirds, and I'm just excited because that was really, really what I wanted. I did not want someone who would be so rigid and serious all the time and so overly focused. And focus is good, but I need some of that attention to myself. Those are the things that I was looking out for, and I got them.
Remain the same.